spread among the nations. That's the mission of Israel. Be a light to the nations. Be a bottle of perfume. What a wonderful image to be compared to a bottle of perfume, and you open the top and the smell spreads. And it's beautiful. Yes?
Is this supposed to be by example? God's people by example in exile? Because you don't actively seek converts.
I know, what a mistake.
Yeah, probably not a good.
What do you think we joined the trifid? To try to convert every one of you. You don't know it. It's night, it's sleep. We do it during the night. I definitely lament the fact that Judaism is not a religion that knocks on doors. I think there is a reason for that, many reasons for this. One would not do it in Nazi Germany. One would not do it in Poland. One would not do it in Russia. Actually, Jews left Russia because they were not allowed to practice Judaism. So we had reasons why we hold it back. By the way, I remember the reaction at the temple. So I wanted to try to do it. Took advertising in the World Herald when it was cheap, and published a column just for people that want to learn about Judaism. That was the first time I did it. This was about 25 years ago, and we were shocked. We had to have 3 classes because we had so many people that came to learn about Judaism. And the reaction on my people was, "Are you out of your mind? The Nazis are going to come." We still live as strangers in America. And we have some good reasons now to worry more as a result of the president's information. I think there are a lot of people, and it will be wonderful to engage some of your friends that are Jewish in about how we feel in this country. There is a little bit more of circling our own wagons because we are worried about what will be the reaction. And we know what's happening on some campuses, and the BDS movement, and some other things. So I am optimistic. From the moment I landed in America, I wanted to change America. And part of it is to realize that we live here and we live in freedom, and we should use the freedom to fulfill our mission. And the mission is to spread the word, because we are serving as witnesses. And by the way, why shouldn't Jews do it? Why do I have to get people, Mormons, or now they're not called Mormons anymore, Latter-day, yeah, knocking on my door on Friday afternoon asking me to convert? Why can they do it and I cannot do it? I think Judaism is a religion that is worthwhile learning about.
But isn't Christianity the only major religion that actively seeks converts? Hindus, Buddhists, they don't seek converts.
No, they're quiet. They do yoga. No, I think there are some other religions that are not interested in doing it. I think it will be wonderful for the Jews to be able, as a result of this relationship, to open the New Testament for the first time in their life. And it will be also interesting for you, and you're doing it, studying with me. No, I mean, where's the harm? Where's the danger?
Have you felt this way since the beginning of your
rabbinate? Yeah, totally. I felt, I don't know why. By the way, this dream has been a lot earlier than the day that I'm witnessing today. Yeah, I felt that when I came to America, that I left the oppressive religious life in Israel, because in Israel there's no separation between church and state. It's all Orthodox. It's all Orthodox. So for a person that was liberal, progressive, there was nothing to really do there. So I came here. And here there was this amazing freedom that suddenly landed on me. And wow, what can we do with this? So America has been an amazing station in my life. Hopefully you appreciate that for yourself, yes.
Don't you think that there's just a possibility of, when I see you being you, like in this group, and I think probably you leave here and go out and walk through Omaha with the same persona, don't you think just those little individual interactions can lead to people converting?
I think conversion is a longer process.
No, but I mean, seeing you and hearing you and being around you can open people's minds to things differently.
But I want you still to address me as a teacher. That's what I'm doing. I don't have any ulterior motive.
No,
Yeah.
but I think just in your being and people of being like you, it's what opens up our minds to something new.
to different possibilities,
Yes.
to something new, to acquire different knowledge. I hope so. That's what the meaning of rabbi means, a teacher.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you. Let's continue. You have a good booming voice. Come on.
But Abraham was not only a heir in a religious sense, he was also a stranger. The first Jewish stranger. One who, because of his Jewishness, had to endure the hardship of alienation and exportation. No wonder then that in his version of the covenant,
His vision.
his vision of the covenant, he anxiously saw his people become a people of refugees to whom others would not be charitable.
Yeah, that's the covenant of the pieces. Remember, we started there. The vision that he has in Genesis. He cuts a few different animals, puts them on some kind of a pot, and then there is a torch that is moving between the pieces, and then the vision of being stranger in a strange land, which in a way predict the Egyptian experience that the Israelites are going to go through. So already in the book of Genesis, the story of the Jews is written. You're going to be strangers for the rest of your life. I think some of us need to understand that this is not a fatal incident or experience that we need to go through, but let's do something with this. Let's do something with being stranger. Let's find a way to open our hearts to other people. And this is what is, I think, the core of what we need to do in this tri-faith experience. Go on.
Quite the contrary, for there exists a fundamental difference between the Jewish attitude towards strangers and that of other peoples.
Yeah, so now we're going to go deeper. So what about other people and how they deal with strangers? So what is Christianity saying about the treatment of strangers? Oh, come on, guys. How are we going to learn if we don't talk about it?
What do we have written on right before our door? All are welcome here. Yeah, all are welcome.
Yeah.
Love others as you love yourself.
Say it again.
Love others as you love yourself.
Hopefully you love yourself.
That's a problem. That's a tough one.
What else?
I think it's also fair to say though that while we are pretty good at saying this, we're not so good at living this. We, as a denomination, are very solid in our belief in diversity and helping the afflicted and so forth and so on, but our church is pretty white upper class. And there's not a lot of self-segregate economically and socially, and that's pretty true of most Christian denominations.
And most religious circles. Yeah, I mean, we have similar kind of challenges at Temple Israel.
Some denominations are better at knowing that's a bad idea than others. Some denominations embrace that, but that's the reality of the human condition, I guess.
But just reading your bulletin on a regular basis and listening to some of the conversation I have here, there is still a sincere attempt to try to overcome that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that, yeah, I mean, Messianic time, come on, give it some time. Ain't gonna happen overnight. And I don't think, this is definitely something interesting in Judaism. Although we are told that we need to wait for the Messiah, there's also a teaching that says, if you start planting a tree and someone comes and tells you, leave everything and come meet the Messiah at the gate of the city, keep planting. Which is such a good advice. Because maybe it's just a rumor. At least this plant is going to produce fruit. So there's something for the next generation that I'm going to do, instead of just leaving on the illusion that something is waiting on the gate. We tend to be extremely practical when it comes to the conversation about Messiah. We don't talk about the Messiah as much as you guys. Am I, Chris? Yeah, we don't. We actually, so if he comes, we'll ask him if he came before, and we're going to continue doing our work. We're not going to be overwhelmed by that. It'll be nice. One of the reasons evangelical love Jews to an extreme, this is the main Christian group that loves Israel and loves Jews. Part of the reason is because they believe that the Jews are the only one that are going to recognize Jesus because he was Jewish. Hey, hello, long not seen. Where have you been? So they support the state of Israel with complete deny of Palestinian issues and the complexity of the Middle East, just because they want us to continue being alive so we can recognize Jesus.
Well, I have never heard that before. I thought that the evangelicals were thrilled with Israel because they saw great possibility for conversion.
Of the Israelites, of the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's secondary. That's secondary. We know that. We know. Those of us who have been involved in dialogues with evangelical, those are difficult dialogues. And so, but they also want us to serve as witnesses when he comes. And he is going to come.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the fulfillment of a prophecy, right?
Exactly.
The Jews have got to be in Israel. They've got to be in the land of Israel.
Absolutely.
in
To
order
welcome
for the
Jesus.
Second coming in the whatever they call it.
The rapture, yeah.
to
By the way, he's not coming to Omaha. I don't know. I mean, I should. He's not going to come here. So I suggest to you get tickets and get to Israel because he's going to be there first.
Maybe in November. Some of us are going.
Excellent. I hope it happens in November. I hope so. It'll be nice to finally stop investigating when. You came. Welcome. Here's a pita and hummus. Eat.
In the Christian tradition, we follow in the Jewish tradition of Moses welcoming the strangers at the oaks, right? So
Abraham.
Abraham, yes.
Yeah.
And that radical hospitality.
Yeah.
But then also the Apostle Paul writes a letter to the Hebrews in the New Testament that talks about
They can be angels or the Messiah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
So
that exact same kind of sentiment and tradition that
Be-
we carry with us from both our tradition, from the Hebrew tradition, as well as Paul's reinterpretation of that to the Greek.
beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So we are definitely told to treat every stranger positive, because you never know if that person is not going to be the Messiah.
Well, the idea
So the Messiah is always among us.
The radical hospitality is the key, right? Because if you treat everyone as if they are not strangers, then you never have strangers. You just welcome people until there is no other.
Excellent. And also the understanding that every one of us can be the Messiah.
Right.
Who wants that job? All right, can I have another reader, please? Come on. Thank you, by the way, for reading.
Are we reading?
Yes, please.
The stranger?
Yes, yes, the stranger.
The stranger, on the sociological and human level, is someone who suggests the unknown, the prohibited, the beyond. He seduces, he attracts, he wounds, and leaves.
Wow. Look at the words Elie Wiesel selects of defining stranger on our terms now. So what? He is the prohibited, the beyond. He seduces, he attracts, he wounds. Go on.
And leaves. He is someone who comes from places you never visited and never will, sent by dark powers who know more about you than you know about them, and who resent you for being what you are, where you are.
I like Jewish food. Can I be a Jew? No, not really. You need to spend a year checking all of the holidays and understanding all the relationship and reading books and study. I mean, it requires a serious study. And sometimes we fail in embracing them because we're stupid. And maybe we are too busy with our own lives. And we also, Judaism is not a racial, you can definitely come. And what happens when someone comes, that they immediately recite a prayer, our God and God of our fathers and mothers. They adopt immediately Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as their spiritual forebears. So they pray the same prayers. So we need to go through teaching prayer and those kind of things. Anyway, so Ger Tzedek, Tzedakah, Tzedek in Hebrew is justice. Ger Tzedek, a Ger who has done it in justice. Go on, a just convert. Continue.
Okay, Ger Tzedek, a just convert, or perhaps a convert to justice. Someone who joins our people not lightheartedly for superficial reasons, but out of conviction, out of belief that despite the sufferings and persecutions, or because of them, Judaism is moved by truth and embodies the supreme quest for justice.
That's why we had difficulty about Trump's daughter. She's Jewish.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's Jewish because she married a Jew, and so and the day of inauguration was Saturday. She went through Orthodox conversion, but we saw her in the car being driven on that day in a parade for the president. So we asked questions. How can she receive an Orthodox conversion and then drive on the Sabbath? We never got answers. I don't think we'll ever get answers. So it's an interesting, we pay attention for those cases because is it from love? Are there reasons for the conversion? It's very important why someone converts. And that's why there is a Bedin, a court of 3 rabbis that actually sits with a potential convert, and we ask questions. And then that person goes to the mikvah. You know what a mikvah is? Mikvah is a bath, a ritual bath. Yeah, we had it before John the Baptist. It's you know, I just, you know, I love going to the Jordan River and seeing those tons of people all immersing in the Jordan River. Hey, we had it too, you know. So the convert then goes, we close the door, and she or he steps into the water. Nothing separates between the skin and the water, and that's part of the birth again, born again. The mikvah serves as the womb that brings the convert into Judaism. And then that night, that person appears in front of the congregation and recites the beautiful words of Ruth, the prophetess. Remember what did Ruth said? My people shall be my people, your God, your God is my God, and wherever you die, I will die. So this is the password to Judaism. But again, it takes time to go through this.
Is it a valid, talking about Trump's daughter, would it be valid that she converted to raise their children in the faith?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I assume that that's what she's planning to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, how many kids they have already?
Three?
3 kids?
3.
Wow. So I assume she sends them to religious school. I assume she sends them to Orthodox religious school because her conversion was Orthodox. So that's a whole different story that I'm sure you're not interested in finding out the debates. My converts, for example, are not accepted by the Orthodox rabbi in town because I'm not kosher enough. No, I mean, I'm not from the lineage that goes all the way to Mount Sinai. I'm a reformed, liberal, progressive, terrible kind of guy. There is a large number of people that are converts at Temple Israel, and they're all doing very well. And I'm so proud in them because of what they accomplished, what they achieved. I'm also proud of my own Jews, but I think I like a little bit more the converts. My Jews were born Jewish. They never raised the question, who am I, what am I? The convert, on the other hand, is someone that spent a lot of time thinking about this and living the life that they had and moving to a different kind of life. So that's why they're not strangers. The word changed to a convert, a proselyte. Continue.
Where are we?
In Talmudic literature,
Thus, in Talmudic literature, which teaches to discourage conversion, the ger is generally praised and even exalted.
yeah, so you're supposed to go to a convert in the process of conversion and say to him, are you stupid or what? Why would you join 15 million people? Are you out of your mind? You have to say this in the process. You have to reject them 3 times. If they come in the 3rd time, you embrace them. But there's a whole process. Why would anyone join the Jewish people? I mean, because you want to be part of the great history that we have? Because you love the Crusades? I mean, why would you join yourself with a minority of a minority of a minority? You okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. So we are told, the rabbis are told that you need to push them aside a few times to see if it's meaningful. And when they come back, you of course accept them. So in Talmudic time, definitely the story of rejection is there. Go on.
The ger is generally praised and even exalted, covered with honors and rewards. He is made into a superior person to whom nothing is denied. We offer him not only a past, our own, but eternity as well. We assure him that on Passover Eve at the Seder, he may declare for all to hear that
Avadim Ainu Beretz Mitzrayim. We were slaves in the land of Egypt. He can say we. He becomes from the single person, once he converts into we. He accepts all of the history. That's the process of the conversion. It doesn't matter when you came. What are you, 18? It doesn't matter. Here's the burden of Jewish history. Take it upon yourself. Go on.
His fathers and forefathers were slaves in Egypt, and that, like all of us, he was freed by Moses. Like all of us, he stood at Sinai and received God's word and his law. We go so far as to declare that our God favors him over us. And Rabbi Shimon
Ben Lakish
explains why. We Jews accept the law under duress. Accepted the law under duress. We had no choice, while the convert comes to God on his own.
Yeah, so in order to understand this teaching, you need to know that there is a beautiful midrash that doesn't appear, of course, in the Bible, that when the Israelites assembled underneath Mount Sinai, God picked up the mountain and said, if you guys don't accept my law, here will be your burial place. And they said, yes, we will do it. The convert is not doing it in any kind of duress. They accept God and the law freely. You must be allergic to Bible study. It's okay.
Whenever I choke like that, I start sneezing.
Feel better. So that's the story about the Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Let's continue. Next reader. Next reader. I saw your hand before there. I remember. The last paragraph. The Ger's
position was so privileged that Moses objected. Why compare him to the Levite? Why does he deserve such honor? And God again used the argument of the Ger's purity of heart. What didn't I have to do to persuade the people of Israel to accept my law? I had to free it from bondage, feed it in the desert, protect it from its enemies, impress it with continuous miracles, one greater than the other, one more astonishing than the other, while the Ger, the convert, didn't need all these signs. I didn't even call him, and yet he came.
Wow. Yeah, so God is working on his anger management here. Look at the story. I mean, how by the time they got to Sinai, what has God done for them? Oh my God. The convert, they come freely. I didn't have to do anything with the convert. Those are converts of tzedek, of righteousness. Continue, please.
And so he occupies a higher position than the average Jew. There are things we may not do to him or even say to him. We may not remind him of his past.
You should never remind the Ger of their past as a Gentile. Just because they had some ham for breakfast, don't mention it to them. They're not doing it anymore. Don't bring the past with the relationship to the Ger. Just be on the same level, accept them, nurture them, love them. Go on.
So as not to embarrass him. Anyway, his past is now the same as ours. The Ger can receive what God chooses not to. He and he alone can change his past.
That's the power of the convert, changing the past. Continue. Furthermore,
every Ger may claim direct kinship with Abraham, the first convert, the father of all converts, whose greatest virtue was to expose other people to his faith.
yeah, why are we constantly talking about tri-faith initiative with relationship to Abraham? Why is Abraham so important in the psyche of this group here? What is it about Abraham?
He's the father of us all.
Is what?
He's the convert for us all.
Yeah, Abraham did not start being Jewish. Are you kidding? He was an idol worshiper. There was a beautiful shop in Haran with beautiful idols that his father was building. That's how he started. But there was something that happened, some kind of a vision something that told Abraham, I cannot continue being idol worshiper. And so there was the conversion of Abraham. That's why constant association of the Tri-Faith Initiative with Abraham is good to have a patriarch that is watching us. Go on.
The first convert, the father of all converts, whose greatest virtue was to expose other people to his faith. The Gur is even linked to the Messiah, who, as the son of David, will be a descendant of a convert, Ruth.
Yeah. Look at how we're elevating converts, elevating people that come to us as strangers. And the Messiah will come from Ruth. And maybe because of what she said. Your God is my God. Your people is my people. I will bury where you're buried. Complete acceptance. By the way, she was a Moabite. What is the relationship in the Bible, in the first chapters, the first books of the Bible, to the Moabites or the Ammonites? They are not to be associated at all with. They are strangers. They should be kept away from the Israelites. Only later in biblical books, their role changes because the Israelites are living among them and there is a relationship. And the Israelites are learning that they are good people, not on both sides. They're just good people. Okay, you got it. You got it. You got it. I'm so happy you guys are so alert. No, but the only way that we can, and this is the experiment, this is the workshop we're going to do here for the next 30, 40 years, 50 years. This idea of seeing the other not as a stranger, but as the person that he or she is on a completely different level. That's what's so unique about this, what we're doing here. And slowly it's settling in. I mean, I can see already how it works. I hear a lot less antagonism about this with my people at Temple Israel. Oh, I mean, you know, you guys, what am I telling you? You experience the same. Slowly there is understanding, acceptance, even love. We can do that. We can definitely do that. Go on.
Abraham's mission was to attract German?
No, Gerim. Wait, that was funny. I need to. Germs, yeah. Abraham's mission was to attract Gerim. Go on.
That's why he traveled so far and wandered so often. The Midrash compares him and his wanderings to a bottle of perfume. It must be shaken to spread its fragrance. Later, the Talmud says Jewish exile has similar motivation. While wandering through the world, driven from city to city, from village to village, the people of Israel disseminated God's words, God's truth.
Yeah, what a way to look at Jewish exile. So what is the purpose of Jewish exile? Instead of being upset about it, instead of lamenting everything that happened in our history, why can't we turn this into great opportunities of being able to be...
Or simply for being. The stranger.
Why is Elie Wiesel writing this? From what experience? The Holocaust, yeah. I mean, he is this witness. And so look at what we did with the word stranger now. Look at the different definition from the Bible. The Bible is about love, inviting, caring. Elie Wiesel comes from the world of misery, where the stranger is something that one needs to stay away. Dark forces. Go on.
The stranger represents what you are not, what you cannot be, simply because you are not he. Between you and him, no contact seems possible, except through suspicion,
terror, or repulsion. The stranger is the other. He is not bound by your laws, by your memories. His language is not yours, nor is his silence. He is an emissary of evil and violence, or of death. Surely he is from the other side.
Wow. What a wonderful way to start with the biblical understanding of the stranger and move to this description. So what is he telling us? What do we need to do?
Be
Well-
afraid.
We're a stranger.
No, but I think he wants us to go back to the biblical level of being able to treat the stranger. It will take a lot of work. Yes?
This description of the stranger, this negative notion of the stranger, reminds me so much of what we're doing at the southern border right now in our
Ah.
view of the refugees. It's exactly that.
Totally. Absolutely. The way we're treating them. The way the misery that we offer them. Yeah. I mean, the father and the child face down in the water. I mean, how can you erase ever this memory? And what's interesting is that there are a lot of groups are coming with the same Holocaust slogan, never again, responding to that. Never again is suddenly resurrected from misery, a different misery, to the same situation, because those are concentration camps without maybe the chimney, but that's the only difference that they don't have. Continue, please.
Thus, in many traditions, he was, in fact, rejected, isolated, condemned. He was the nomad looking for water and wine, the gypsy asking for a place to sing, the beggar searching for a tale, the fugitive for a shelter, the madman haunted by shadows, and the prince looking for the madman. Whether seeking consolation or forgetfulness, the stranger was sent away or somehow disposed of. The tribe wished to stay close, unified, pure. The stranger, bearer of a bad omen, could only disturb, undermine established order. He had to be expelled, or exorcised, or even killed. Or in some...
Wait. Let's live with those words a little bit longer. We move those images and those feelings, even those who are standing on street corners with a sign, I need food, or I'll do work for you. Look at what do we do with this? How many of us stop the car there, get out of the car, talk to them, or help them, ask what they need? I mean, so the stranger, this feeling about the stranger scares us from everyone. We become so used to this appearance of those strangers that we shut them out completely.
It's how we treated gay people 50 years ago.
50 years ago, excuse me.
Well,
Excuse me. 50 years ago, there was an incident. That's how we treated them yesterday. This is what is going to happen. I think gay people don't even understand yet what's coming their way. We need to be very careful. We have to read carefully documents and see what will happen. I think they are in the beginning of the real war. I'm very much worried about that group of people. Who else? Who else is the stranger? I will never forget shopping for food in a supermarket and hearing behind me a child saying loud, why is he walking so funny? The mother, Shah, how do you talk about it? Don't ever say this. I turn around, that's me, went to the child, put my hand on the child's head. Let me tell you what I have. And I showed him the brace. And just, why can't we do this? Why do we have to have always someone as a stranger to do what? To fix us? What is the joy of pointing out at people that are not us, but pointing in a way of distress and separation? It's happening all the time. It takes so much energy to do this. So much energy to stay separated, to stay aloof, to stay removed.
But if you're a child.
That's it, guys. That's it. I want every one of you to stand up and go hug the child. This is why we're here. We are here for him. Let's continue.
Or in some more enlightened civilizations, he had to be absorbed, meaning assimilated, disarmed, undressed, transformed.
By the way, in some more enlightened civilization, or the mockery, the humor of Elie Wiesel. So, wait, there was some civilized, and let's see how they treated him. Well, you need to assimilate, to disarm, to undress, to transform. We're not taking you the way you are. We want you to be someone different. By the way, this is definitely experience. This is Jewish. He writes Jewish history. We know what happened in France with the Dreyfus affair, when France was supposed to be a light to the nations, getting a Jew from the army and putting him on trial for espionage, which never happened. But it was a Jew. So even France, that was the beginning of civilization, even they had difficulty regressing. Go on.
He would be welcome to stay, but only after giving up his condition, his name, his past, his memories, his bonds with his own people. A Jew, for example, had to become Christian, or Muslim, or communist, or whatever. He would be offered the possibility of living, and living happily, provided he paid the inevitable rite to passage, which was a kind of metamorphosis or transubstantiation. You wish to be with us? Be one of us. Be us.
Powerful. And it's definitely not written about Jews alone. It's about all of us. And the way we look at strangers, who treat them, those are harsh words. Be us. This is the conversation about Muslims in America. Or people coming from shitty places. Look at the language. What language is coming from Washington? Let's continue one more paragraph.
There was yet another, more radical method, one that was practiced and perfected by the Nazis.
And the worst. Okay, so so he goes to the enlightened, and then he goes to the worst. The worst, the Nazis. In a different place in a book, he talks about what they did, the process of what the Nazis did by putting first Jews in a ghetto and then putting them in one house, a lot of them, and then reducing them to people with numbers, and then finally ashes. I mean, the systematic way of dealing with the Jews. No other group of people has done this. They were extreme. They were the masters. But that's what we do when we describe people that, I mean, the yellow people are coming. You know, the way we talk about people, immigrants now. The language we use for the conversation about immigrants is similar conversation.
They're murderers, they're racists,
They are rapists. I mean, remember what he said. All of them.
all of them.
I mean, just completely white strokes of brushing over them. Go on.
There, the fear of the stranger, the hate for the stranger reached climactic proportions. His very presence evoked ancient suspicions and ancestral frustrations. In the Third Reich, cultural or religious transformation ceased to be an option. The stranger had to be disfigured, shamed, diminished, erased, more cruel than pagans or cannibals had ever been. The Nazi executioners wanted to dehumanize their victims before killing them. The stranger had to become an object.
Objects is easy to erase, easy to ignore, easy to take them and throw them away. Objects. The worst way of looking at a human being. Tell me how you can serve me. Well, that's not the purpose of my existence. If I'm creating God's image, then don't use me as an object. Don't look at me as an object. Where's the humanity in all this process? This is why it's horrific what's happening on the borders. Actually, in a way, this article is so relevant just to deal with that piece. It's actually writing it for exactly what's happening now. That's his greatness. Elie Wiesel is a witness that writes for all generations. Those words are so relevant. Go on.
Only Islam, because of its link with Abraham, sometimes showed more compassion and hospitality toward others.
That's why we have Islam in the Tri-Faith Initiative. You couldn't do it without Muslims because of their relationship to Abraham. But we all remember the first reactions of people. Oh my God. Which is, yeah, we can on one hand, we can say it's normal. That's how we react to strangers. But aren't we embarrassed of the words that were recited in the different locations about Muslims? And maybe they were not recited loud, but some of the people that left because of that. They didn't leave because of only the money that you guys asked for building a new church. Come on. We know that. So they need to go to their Siberia, and one day they will go through some kind of a process of cleansing, and then they will come here. They'll come back. Go on.
Islam is, after all, a religion of people who for centuries wandered from tribe to tribe, from oasis to oasis in search of water and shade. But even though Islam is an exception, its hospitality towards its guests extended only over short periods of time.
Yeah, so we need to read hospitality in the right historical way.
How long can you be a guest? Ultimately, the guests became strangers once more and had to choose exile, death, or conversion, for Islam means submission.
That's the word Islam, submission. Go on.
The stranger had to submit or die. The stranger as a free sovereign individual seems to have been incompatible with the inner sovereignty of all traditions, except the Jewish one. To us, too, the stranger represents the unknown, but the attraction he holds over us is one of curiosity and fascination, not hate. Rather than absorb the stranger, we encourage him to remain independent and true in his genuine self. We want him to maintain his identity and enrich it. Except for 1 or 2 periods, we discouraged conversion. Under Yanni, there were forced conversions, and we lived to regret it under Herod.
Yeah, so this is again pre-Roman. Yanai was a king where there was a forced conversion to Judaism, and we didn't like it. Okay, let's finish now the last paragraph.
Judaism teaches us that man must be authentic and that he can find his authenticity only within his own culture and tradition. We don't want to make Jews out of Christians. We want to make Jews out of Jews, and so help Christians to be better Christians. We want the stranger to offer us not what we already have, or whatever we may have given him, but that which he has and we don't. We don't want him to resemble us any more than we wish to resemble him. We look at him hoping to find his specificity and to understand that which makes him different, that which makes him a stranger.
So do you now see what is the task then of the Tri-Faith Initiative? What are we here for?
Appreciating each other.
And
Learning.
learning.
And strengthening our own faith.
Yeah, it's amazing. I hear it from members of the temple that as a result of this kind of negotiation of relationship, they went back to learn more about who they are.
We have learned more from you and the Oman about the other religions to some extent, but mostly we learn more about our own.
Well, you have some superb teachers in this
Oh,
church
yes.
that are definitely ready to do this and already doing it. What else? What else we can do together? Come on, dream. Yes.
Well, we can protect people in our society. You know, you go back here, he says, Nazi executioners want to dehumanize their victims. Well, their victims were also gay people, mentally handicapped.
Oh my God, gypsies.
Physically handicapped people, gypsies.
Yeah.
The list goes on. You know,
Well, they wanted to create a special race. And so there was no room for all those people. But I think we're not as severe as the Nazis. But I think our society does similar things. Just because we don't have the smoke coming out of the chimney, that doesn't mean that we are not oppressing people, that we are not denying the humanity of people.
Well, like you brought up last week, the blind patriotism towards institutions and institutionalizations of our government and et cetera can lead to the same
Yeah.
type of thing. You know, the Germans in the 30s were the most educated people in the history of the world. And look what they turned into.
We can go to sleep without noticing what is happening. That's why you have to sleep always with one eye open. That's what we have done it for years. That's why we look so tired. But it's impossible to go to sleep and close your eyes completely to the reality of what's happening around. Any other reactions? Chris, any thoughts or?
Well, whenever we talk about this before in the past, one of the things I always use when I tell other people is how you say there's so much that we agree on theologically and so many things we disagree on, but the one thing or all the things that we do agree on, whether they're religious based or not, is issues like poverty. I mean, all those kinds of things. So beyond, as we're working through the discernment of theology and how we can talk about that and open each other up to each other's traditions, rituals, all those kinds of things, we can be working together to make the world a better place on the way to whatever else we're moving towards. So that's how we build relationships, by working side by side. We have food pantries, we have community gardens, we have orchards, we have vigils that we do, we have statements that we put out for all of us. We have all kinds of motion and movement as we're moving to the place. This is how we participate in what God's already doing, no matter what our conversations about theology are.
Yeah, and we should try to narrow the conversation about theology as much as we can. Because God really doesn't give a shit. I think we have spent a lot of time on those conversations.
But
Wha-
everything we do in the social activity of the world
Yeah.
is framed by our theology, by our values, by our systems, and they should be. So that's one of the arguments we're having now. How do we invite people that have no theological background or no faith traditions at all to come in and be a part of our conversation here at the Tri-Faith? Well, it's not that they shouldn't be here, but they have to also be aware that as we look at things in the world, we're looking at it through our theological perspective. That's who we are. And it doesn't mean that that's wrong or that we should strip ourselves of that. The whole point of the Tri-Faith is we all do have our own kind of theological perspectives that we're coming from, even if it's a non-theological perspective. And just because they're different doesn't mean we shouldn't hear each other. We should accept that from each other and try to learn from it. And
Excellent.
so to strip it all together and say, well, we can't talk about theology at all because we might offend somebody. Well, no. The whole point of the Tri-Faith experiment is to say we can have our own perspectives and still not offend anyone. Right?
And I, by the way, feel that sometimes we should offend people.
Right.
I actually love it. I think this is a great place for people to start learning and studying.
It is my theology that tells me to feed people. It's not my niceness. It's my theology. It's my creation into God's image that tells me I need to care for my neighbor. That's
Yeah.
what drives me. It's not just because I have this natural intuition inside of me that tells me to do that. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be coming from that tradition, but I don't expect you to be coming from the exact same position.
Actually, I am. No, I mean, I think it's possible to conceive the Ten Commandments without getting them on a mountain. This is what we need to offer people that don't believe. We need to talk about those things. And do. At the same time that we talk about this, to continue doing what we need to do. Yes?
Can't we continue to move forward as a group with our commonalities?
Absolutely, that's what we're doing.
If we use the energy that way and give up the energy that goes to even talking and discussing, well, I think it's good to talk and discuss so we know where people are, but to give up that conversion concept and just move forward with the energy of our commonality, we don't lose the energy in all the other crap.
Beautiful. Crap is a good word. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Oh, sorry. Okay, I saw your hand.
One question.
Yeah,
Back to his, talking about the enlightened civilization on 33,
yeah.
the middle paragraph, where he has to be absorbed, assimilated, undressed, transformed, and so forth.
That's not
I'm not able to square that with
enlightenment.
the idea of our country, and how do we keep a united, how do we keep the vision of our country without people assimilating, learning English, participating in the political system? And he seems to be saying that to do that is to infringe on the stranger's separateness and autonomy.
Well, I think the idea of America as a melting, the melting is the difficulty for Elie Wiesel. Is it possible not to completely melt and celebrate those things that make us different and still succeed in bringing America, United States of America?
That's a good question.
No.
Is it possible?
I think it's possible. The experience, I mean, look at all those generations. How old is America this year? Come on. I was poor in math.
243,
243?
About that.
243, yes.
I think we actually succeeded. There are some beautiful things that were done here. melting is an issue. I think there is something that was lost in the melting pot. And I think that's what he's trying to retrieve. Do we need completely to melt everyone like candles and they disappear? Is it still important to keep the uniqueness of each group? Maybe the groups can still exist, the individual can still be part of a group, and still the groups can work together.
I've heard it suggested instead of a melting pot, we should adopt the image of a salad bowl.
Salad bowl, yeah. But you have to be careful with the dressing. You have to be careful with the dressing. Thank you. Thank you again.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.